Hi guys, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play of Stellaris. I'm sure you've heard of Stellaris, but in case you haven't, it's a 4X game from Paradox and it's absolutely fantastic. If you want to be an animalistic hive mind conquering the galaxy, you can do that. Robots with a bonded consciousness, you can do that. Tiny little plants that control the galactic economy. I'm not so sure, but probably, yeah. Now, I haven't actually played too much of this game, especially not recently. I think the last time I played was the Laguine patch, and the game tends to go through a pretty big reshuffle of mechanics every few patches, so we're potentially in for a very steep learning curve. In this episode 0, we're going to be purely discussing and explaining our species, so there'll be no gameplay. If that's what you're after, feel free to skip to episode 1, where we jump into the galaxy. With that being said, let's dive straight into it. So, this is our race, the Stellaris Corporation. Let's jump into the edit menu and have a closer look. Some of this will be very quick to cover, like names, appearances, etc. And some of it, such as ethics, will be much more in depth. So, let's begin with appearance. In terms of appearance, I've chosen the blue humanoids because I think they look pretty cool and I think they'd suit a mega corporation. I sort of see them as like a bootleg version of Asari from the Mass Effect universe. Right, our species name is Stellaris, one of the randomized presets. It also randomizes the plural and the adjectives, Stellarians and Stellarian. Right, for name list we've just gone for human 2, not much to explain here. I've changed the ship prefix from ISS to SSI to make it more futuristic. I know, genius. Right, for traits, this is where we really start dissecting the essence of our soon-to-be empire. I was stuck at the screen for a good half hour or so, and in the end I've gone for unruly, adaptive, and intelligent. So let's talk about these one by one. Unruly. Unruly species are difficult to manage and organize. They do not like being told what to do and are often quarrelsome and questioning. Empire sprawl from Pops plus 10%. Right, so I think unruly is probably the best negative trait that you can get. With the way Empire sprawl can be so easily negated by administrative buildings, I think it's a no-brainer, and it's essentially 2 free trait points, bumping us up to 4. Right, then we've gone for adaptive. This species is highly adaptive when it comes to foreign environments, habitability plus 10. To be perfectly honest, I'm not actually sure how good adaptive is in the current environment. As I mentioned, I haven't played since Laguine, which is when the Megacore expansion came out, but I'm sure there's no way it can be bad. The way it used to work is habitability is directly translated into your happiness cap, so an extra 10% habitability would bump your happiness cap by 10% as well. Hopefully that's still how it works. And finally we've taken intelligent. This species is highly intelligent and enjoys faster technological progress. Research speed from engineering, physics and society jobs up by 10%. I feel like intelligence is never a bad thing because technology is never a bad thing. And I feel like with mega corporations there could be an interesting approach to perhaps go tall and focus on technology. Obviously we'll see how it goes when we have a look at the map we're playing. Perhaps it won't be possible at all, but it's certainly something to consider. I've had a look at some of the other traits because I was looking if there was a chance for us to add another positive trait. In terms of negatives, I was thinking of going for wasteful, which is pop consumer goods upkeep plus 10. But to be honest, I didn't really see anything that stood out to me. Communal doesn't look that good, nomadic is okay but not brilliant, and so on. Right, moving on, name and class. Here I clicked randomize a few times until we got to something that sounds Stellarian. So here we have Stellaria, our star name is Sufkata, and I've decided to go for an ocean well. I'm not sure if this makes any difference. I've heard rumours that ocean worlds may have an increased chance of spawning more farm district, which isn't great, but whatever. Mostly the deciding factor is our species is blue and the ocean is blue. And I think that'll look pretty good. Right, next we have city appearance. For city appearance we've gone for mammalian because I think it looks cool. And next we get to origins. Now, origins is something that's completely new to me. I know some of these are probably super powerful. I've seen that you can start here on a relic world, or here with Shattered Ring you can start on a ring world, which sounds super powerful. I have never actually got far enough into the game to know what a ring world or a relic world is, but I'm sure they're great. I think we'll just go for the standard prosperous unification. A stable planetary unification has allowed the civilization to prosper and grow. We start with an additional 4 pop, an additional 2 districts. It seems solid, although unremarkable. Right, government and ethics. This was a really tough one. So for authority, we're obviously going to grab corporate. We hold an election every 20 years to select a new ruler, similar to democracy, I believe. They hold it every 10 years, sure. So our empire modifier is an additional 20 to administrative capacity, and a plus 50% penalty bonus to our empire sprawl. I don't think this is a big deal because it's so easily solved by administration buildings. More importantly, going megacore allows us to choose from these megacore civics, which would otherwise be unavailable. The majority of my time I actually spent on the civics. They all look pretty good. We've decided to go for Public Relations Specialist, which gives us 2 additional envoys and plus 10% diplomatic weight. I haven't actually played enough diplomacy, so very curious to see how this works. And we've also gone for Brand Loyalty, which gives us a monthly unity bonus of 15%. I actually don't think this is that good, but having a look through, I wasn't sure what I would want instead. Media Conglomerate looks good for the happiness. Free traders look okay. I know branch officers can be pretty good. But I think this is what we'll stick with. For ethics, I wasn't sure what to go for either. So we've gone for Authoritarian, Xenophile, and Materialist. I was considering going Fanatic Xenophile in order to get the additional envoy and trade value. But perhaps we shouldn't specialise ourselves too early on until we see the landscape that we're playing in. So Authoritarian gives us an additional 0.5 monthly influence, and our worker pop resource output goes up by 5%. These are small bonuses, but they'll add up, and monthly influence is very difficult to get, so even 0.5 will help out quite significantly in the early game. Right, Xenophile gives us an additional 10% to our trade value and 1 envoy. Obviously this is absolutely useless in the very, very early game, but as we meet other civilizations, I believe this the value of this will increase exponentially. And finally we've got Materialist, which gives us a robot upkeep of minus 10%, research speed plus 5%. Again, quite small bonuses. The research speed is very nice, and I think robots are one of the best ways to sort of farm your basic resources. Right, moving on, we have our advisor voice. Not much to say here. I've just done based on government. We've got Slick Corporation. This is what it sounds like.
Don't let the baseless accusations of wrongdoing fool you. Our competitors are simply projecting their own insecurities.
There we go. So our empire name is the Stellaris Corporation, adjective Stellaris. For our flag, I've just put together a little corporate flag. For ship appearance, I've decided to go for humanoid. It looks like they've got a little droid on the back, and I like droids. And finally, this is our ruler, Tupra Tisala, our chairwoman. If she were male, she would be a chairman. Right, colour variants will stick with blue. Room, we'll give it a bit of a blue tint. Right, and that is the Stellaris Corporation. So let's click done. Let's have a look at our game details. For most of this, I've kept it at default, you can see that we've got galaxy size, medium, elliptical. All this AI stuff is exactly as it should be. Victory year, I've jumped it forward from 2500 to 2600, just to give us an extra 100 years. Difficulty, we're playing on Captain, that's fine. I'll put scaling difficulty on. Everything else is completely the same, and finally I've got Iron Man mode on. Right, thank you very much for joining me. This is the end of episode 0. In episode 1 we'll jump into the game. Thank you very much. Bye bye.